All right, peace and blessings. I have a story. It's story time. It's some story time. Picture it. Back in Sicily, 1882. No, I have a real story. It's a real story. Okay, listen, sit back, get you a drink or whatever that you drink, and listen to this story. It's story time. Apple is a woman, and she was married to Banana. She had 3 kids by Banana, 2 kids before she got married. So by the time she had the third child by him, they were married for a few years. They've been together, I would say around 10 or 11 years, but they were married for about 7 to 8 years. They had a decent marriage. Banana had some anger issues going on that stemmed from childhood. So Banana never got the proper help to resolve those anger issues, and he brought those anger problems into his marriage with Apple. So when you don't deal with the issues as a child, you carry those issues into your adulthood and into your relationships. So Apple and Banana marriage ended in a domestic violence incident which had happened, which landed Banana 14 years in prison. Yeah. And had Banana got the help, they probably would have had never got divorced. So while Banana is serving his time in prison, Miss Apple is left to raise 3 kids financially, emotionally, and mentally by herself. She did a decent job, although she made some mistakes in her parenting, which she later learned and she corrected them. However, 7 years after her divorce from Banana, she married a carrot. Now, Apple will admit her self-esteem, her self-worth wasn't where it should have been, because if it was, she would not have married Carrot. Her and Carrot had a baby together, a daughter. Carrot wound up doing about 8 years in jail, missing the birth of his child. Although Apple did take their daughter up to the prison to see Carrot throughout his 8-year jail term. Okay. Carrot and Apple are still legally married. It's about 11 years. Although Miss Apple did file for divorce in 2015, and husband Carrot received the divorce forms and refused to sign them. So it's almost like Mr. Carrot is contesting the divorce. Miss Apple doesn't understand why, because Mr. Carrot cheated on her with Miss Dumbbell. Now, Dumbbell went on to disrespect Miss Apple as Miss Apple did something to her, not realizing Miss Dumbbell was the one that slept with Mrs. Apple's husband, not the other way around. However, Mr. Carrot has disrespected his wife, lied about being married to her, lied about the wife filing, Mrs. Apple filing for divorce, and Miss Dumbbell actually believed all of this crap, not realizing that Mr. Carrot didn't really have no intention of being with her long term, because it was actually an affair. But as a result of the affair, Mr. Carrot and Miss Dumbbell created a child. So Miss Apple filed for divorce, but Mr. Carrot doesn't want to divorce Miss Apple. So Miss Apple has accepted that fact, but she went on and she, throughout the whole cheating, adultery behavior that was going on, Mr. Banana and Mrs. Apple has uh, reconnected. Mr. Banana has never stopped loving Mrs. Apple. And he was always looking for opportunity to be a part of her life again. Mrs. Apple forgave Mr. Banana for his part in their marriage failing simply because he was able to take accountability for what he did, responsibility for what he did, and he sincerely apologized to Mrs. Apple and has been trying to wrong all his rights. And Miss Apple likes that about him. However, Mr. Carrot has done nothing but disrespect Mrs. Apple, lied about Miss Apple, won't divorce Miss Apple, running and hiding from Miss Apples and their daughter. But Mr. Banana, yes, Mr. Banana has upgraded to becoming a beautiful, wonderful human being, as well as a man, a father to our 3 children, and a stepdad to my daughter. Mr. Banana and Mrs. Apple are very, very good friends, and it is leading into more. Mr. Banana has been there for Miss Apple throughout her trials with her husband, Mr. Carrot. He has been very supportive, emotionally supportive, has been there for her wherever she needs. He has been available to her. Whatever she needs, whatever she needs, he has been there 100%. Now, Miss Dumbbell needs to wake up. And why I say she needs to wake up, because she done lost herself and Mr. Carrot, because she, again, was just like Miss Apple, with low self-esteem, no self-worth, and no self-respect, and that got caught up with Mr. Carrot, believing in everything Mr. Carrot has told her. But she hasn't taken time to look at the fact that Mr. Carrot is still legally married to Mrs. Apple and does not want to divorce her. And I don't understand why Miss Dumbbell is not questioning that. You share a child with this married man, but he doesn't see you fit to be his wife. But Miss Apple did wake up. Miss Apple did start loving herself. Miss Apple did regain her self-respect and her self-esteem. And Mr. Banana has done the same. And Mr. Banana and Mrs. Apple have a very, very close relationship. I mean, it's too close for comfort, I must say. But see, what Mr. Carrot failed to realize, there's always another man out there, past or present, looking to get with a woman that is capable of being a good mother and a wife. But see, Mr. Carrot failed to realize that he thought that Miss Apple, his wife, would never leave him. He thought he would never lose her, because he thought she didn't grow up, but she did. And she left Mr. Carrot. And now you have Mr. Banana trying to get Miss Apple. And I must say, Mr. Banana is succeeding. He really is. And he has a healthy relationship with Mrs. Apple and Mr. Carrot's daughter. He has done so much for her in the few months that he have known her than Mr. Carrot has done for the 11 years, 12 years that he have known his daughter. And that is sad. But Miss Dumbbell, you really need to take a look in the mirror, as I did, and realize that she deserved better. Because although you might not believe in marriage, why would you want to continue giving yourself and have a baby by a married man who does not, I repeat, does not want to divorce his wife, Mrs. Apple? That's something I'm not understanding. And I think Mr. Carrot was really trying to stop Miss Apple from being happy with another man, but he failed to realize that that's not going to happen, because Miss Apple began loving herself. very, very much. And Miss Apple realized that she deserved better. And Miss Apple also believed that we all make bad choices in life. Cheating is not a mistake. Cheating is a choice. Domestic violence is not a mistake. It's a choice. But when you can sit down and say, you know what, I messed this up. This was my fault. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to apologize. And I'm going to do everything in my power to right all my wrongs. But Mr. Carrot still hiding after 3 years. Miss Dumbbell stays on Mrs. Apple's YouTube channel watching all her videos, which I don't understand, because I'm not going to watch nobody's videos if I'm not interested in them or what they have to say. See, if I go click on somebody's video and it doesn't resonate with me, then I'm going to change the channel. So I still don't understand why Mrs. Dumbbell is watching Mrs. Apple's videos. Miss Dumbbell should be worrying about the father of her child, Mr. Carrot. Because Miss Apple has moved on and got a better man in her life, a real man in her life, who has made bad choices in his life as well, but he grew the hell up. That what makes him better than Mr. Carrot. Peace and blessings. This is a true story. Take key. Never ever ignore the red flags. Don't dismiss them, because they will save you time and energy. Unhealthy relationships, staying in a relationship with a man for the sake of your kids is the most dumb thing you can do. And I almost made that damn choice. But I had to look at my child and say, I don't want her grow up thinking it's all right to get pregnant by a man that don't work, that would rather go out there, rob and steal and go to jail. I don't want her getting involved with a man that don't mind sleeping with the whole neighborhood, pregnating females from the projects like it's food to eat. I don't want her with a man that will think he is entitled to a 10 or 11 hour job paying when he don't have no education, no experience, no nothing, don't even qualify for a job. I want her to get a man that is mature, that has self-control, that has goals and achieving his goal, that takes care of his kids, that respects women. Most of all, he loves himself. Because when he loves himself, then and only then that he can be of good to a woman and or some damn children. But I'm just saying, Miss Dumbbell really need to get off of that. Take those blinders off her eyes and learn a thing or two. Because she just played herself worse than I played mine, because I was able to let go of Mr. Carrot. And now I'm content with my life. Peace and blessings. Stay tuned for more videos.